This rapper's final moments were captured on camera. On August 7th, 2025, surveillance footage shows a man standing outside a Bronx smoke shop with another individual. A masked figure suddenly appears. The man with him glances over, touches his face, and casually walks away, a move that has many online calling it a setup. Meanwhile, rapper Chicken Don Dada seems unaware of the danger. Seconds later, the masked gunman opens fire before fleeing the scene.
Surveillance cameras captured
Chicken Don Dada. Rest in peace to that man. This video indeed went viral. I remember seeing this video some time ago. This just happened a few months ago, where this individual, Chicken Don Dada, welcome to another episode, everyone. Welcome to the Inside Story with me, Damian Porter. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Chicken Don Dada here, the rapper, unalived, live on camera, as we can see. It indeed looks like a setup. Chicken Don Dada had knocked a female out named Baby Threat. She was a rapper. He knocked her out 3 days or so prior to this. This is what supposedly, allegedly, led to his death, led to this shooting right here. They have that on camera also, him knocking this girl out, this lady out, this woman out. We're about to see that now. And 3 days later, this happened to him. He was right there, as we can see, sort of rapping to himself, smoking a cigarette or what have you. An individual walks up, the light-skinned individual looks at him real closely to make sure that's him. They're trying to say they knew each other. He could have known him that well because the way he wanted to make sure that that was him. If you know him, then you know as soon as you know 15 feet away that that's him, if you really know him. So the fact that he had to get so close up on him and still look at him and stare at him and then give a signal with his hand or what have you, like, yeah, you know, that's him, and gave some signal and then walked off, and then dude come running up and put it right to his head and pulled the trigger.
everything. The moment of life ended. The second when bullets pierced through an ordinary Tuesday evening in the Bronx.
Look at him.
Glass shattered. People screamed. Blood stained concrete. But what those cameras couldn't show was how this deadly moment began.
See how he put his hands right there on his face, on his nose or whatever. He looked at him first real closely, make sure that's him. Put his hands on his nose or his face to get a signal. Yeah, that's him. Put his hand like that. Looked at his boy, put his hand like that, and then he walks off. And then here you go.
Exactly 24 hours earlier, with a single punch that knocked a woman unconscious. Meet Chicken Donda, 33 years old, father of 4, a rapper trying to make it in the Bronx music scene while working an honest job at a local smoke shop. On paper, he was just another hard-working dad balancing dreams and responsibilities. But in the streets of the Bronx, reputation matters. And sometimes, protecting that reputation comes at the ultimate cost. But there was another side to Chicken Donda, one that emerged when disrespect came his way. 24 hours before his death, Donda would make a choice that sealed his fate. A choice involving an up-and-coming female rapper named Baby Threat. A choice that would be recorded, shared, and ultimately lead to his execution outside the very shop where he earned his living. The streets have their own justice system, their own rules, their own consequences. And when those rules are broken, payment is always demanded. Sometimes that payment is respect. Sometimes it's money. And sometimes it's life itself. Baby Threat, an up-and-coming female rapper in the Bronx scene, found herself face-to-face with Chicken Donda in what started as a verbal exchange. She was building her own reputation in the local music community, trying to establish herself in a male-dominated industry where respect is earned through talent, street credibility, and the ability to handle yourself when conflict arises. The argument intensified quickly. Voices raised. Accusations flew. Whatever triggered their dispute, it escalated beyond the point where either party was willing to back down. In the Bronx music scene, backing down...
Yeah, and many people, of course, did not have mercy on the situation, to say the least. When Chicken Don Don was deleted, as we just seen on camera, going to see again a couple of times. Dude walks up to him, puts the gun to his head, and pulls the trigger. killed him. This was shortly after he knocked this. She looks like a little girl. She's still in her teens, it looks like. I know they were arguing. It looked like she was in his face and fighting back, and women should not be doing that. And he then swung on her and hit her and knocked her down. They saying, man, he didn't knock her out. She got right back up or whatever. He put her down. And someone was not happy about that. Who knows who it was? Perhaps we'll find out. She has brothers, cousins, uncles, father. Regardless of what she did, you see your little girl getting hit like that, knocked out by some grown man, some grown rapper. Yeah, he asking for trouble. I'm not justifying his death or victim shaming or victim blaming. I am not. I am just speaking the facts that when you get yourself involved in something like this, you have to take into account the woman's loved ones. The video that went viral, people were out there talking about the video. You see, many people were there when it happened. Witnesses were there when you knocked the girl down. Okay, you out there just chilling, a couple days later, rapping to yourself, sparking up. People got other ideas, man.
Isn't just about losing an argument. It's about losing face in a community where reputation can make or break your career. Then came the moment that changed everything. Chicken Donda threw a punch that connected with devastating force. Baby Threat dropped immediately, unconscious. The sound of her body hitting the ground was heard by everyone present. The sight of her lying motionless sent shockwaves through the crowd that had gathered to watch the confrontation unfold. The knockout punch was captured on video. Within minutes, that footage was being shared across platforms, spreading through the Bronx music community like wildfire. For Chicken Donda, the immediate reaction was probably satisfaction. He had defended his position, maintained his respect.
Not to nitpick here, but again, I don't see her. He said that she was unconscious. Looks like she got right back up. She did get knocked. I'm not even sure she got knocked out. And that's what the title says. Rapper killed live on camera 3 days after he knocked her out. Baby Threat. But again, not to nitpick, because she got knocked down for sure, whether she was not unconscious and all that. I don't think she was unconscious. But still, it was bad enough, horrific enough, clearly in someone's eyes. Yes, him being deleted not long thereafter could just be something else, could just be a coincidence. It could be whatever else that got him unalived and not that incident. It's not connected. That could be. Nevertheless, I don't think so. It seems like it's connected. He was alive until he did that. And everyone else believes that it was connected. And hell, we'll find out.
And showed everyone present that he wasn't someone to be crossed. In his mind, the conflict was over. Baby Threat had been put in her place, and he could return to his life knowing his reputation remained intact. But reputation cuts both ways in the streets. The video of Baby Threat getting knocked unconscious spread rapidly through social media channels. Comments poured in. Some praised Chicken Donda for not holding back just because his opponent was female. Others criticized him for using excessive force against a woman. But more importantly, the video reached people who cared about Baby Threat. People who wouldn't let this assault go unanswered. Wednesday morning arrived with no indication that it would be Chicken Donda's last day alive. He woke up, prepared for another shift at the smoke shop, and headed to work just as he had done countless times before. If he was worried about potential consequences from the previous day's incident with Baby Threat, he didn't show it. He seemed to believe the matter was settled. The smoke shop where Donda worked was a typical neighborhood establishment in the Bronx. Regular customers knew him by name. He handled transactions.
Now again, they're making it seem like this individual knew him so much. But how? Look how he walks up and is staring at him to make sure that that is him, that this is their target, that this is Chicken Don Don, that this is the individual that disrespected their loved one and knocked her down, knocked her out, knocked her unconscious, whatever the case was. He's staring at him right now, staring at him to make sure this is him. Chicken Don, meanwhile, works at a weed shop. He's a rapper, apparently not making much money, not too successful of a rapper if he has to work at a weed shop. Jay-Z doesn't work at a weed shop. He may own 50 of them, but he doesn't work at one. Everyone has their own path, and you have to start somewhere, but I'm just saying, he's a rapper, but even working at these weed shops are dangerous. They get robbed all the time at gunpoint. Security guards there, armed security, have still been unalived inside of these weed shops. I know of many of these situations. You have to be careful out there, period. He's from the Bronx. He's in the Bronx, New York, working at a weed shop, and he's nonchalant out there, just lackadaisical, chilling, without a care in the world, apparently. But nevertheless, you didn't knock this I'm going to call her a girl, a young lady. You done knocked her out hours before, be it 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours before. You done knocked her out. It then went viral. People done seen this. They're upset. You need to at least be watching your back out there right now. You need to at least be watching your back. He has no awareness, no situational awareness. Dude right up on you, a few feet away from you, just staring at you, trying to recognize you. Man, no, I'm going to feel it, man. What you looking at, bro? What's up? He right there. Just staring. He just sitting here about to light his stuff. He just dancing out there and chilling about to light his stuff. Man, you better pay attention to what's going on around you, especially after you just knocked your little girl out. The hell's wrong with you, man?
Restocked inventory, and maintained
Turn around, look
friendly
at
but
him.
professional relationships that keep small businesses running. It was honest work that helped him provide for his 4 children. A far cry from the violent reputation he had reinforced just 24 hours earlier. But while Chicken Donda was going about his normal Wednesday routine, others were making very different preparations. The video of Baby Threat getting knocked unconscious had continued circulating overnight. More people had seen it. More comments had been made. More phone calls had been exchanged. The wheels of street justice had been set in motion, and they were turning faster than Donda realized. Surveillance cameras that would later prove crucial to understanding what happened captured this man's movements throughout the day. He didn't rush. He didn't appear nervous. Instead, he moved with the kind of patience that suggested he knew exactly what he was doing and when he needed to do it. His presence near the shop seemed purposeful, but not obvious enough to raise immediate alarms. What makes this man's presence particularly suspicious is his proximity to Chicken Donda when the shooting occurred. Video footage shows him standing close enough to Donda to engage in conversation, close enough to appear friendly, and close enough to potentially provide information about timing and positioning to someone else. This raises the most disturbing question about Chicken Donda's murder. Was he set up by someone he trusted? The evidence suggests that this wasn't a random encounter between Donda and this mysterious figure. They appeared to know each other. They seemed comfortable in each other's company. But their relationship, whatever it was, may have been the key to orchestrating Donda's execution. The man's behavior throughout Wednesday suggests he was performing a specific role in a larger operation. Security footage shows him in the area for extended periods, not making purchases, not conducting obvious business, but maintaining a presence that kept him in position to monitor Chicken Donda's movements and activities. The surveillance cameras captured everything with stark, unforgiving clarity. Wednesday afternoon, outside the smoke shop where Chicken Donda had worked so many shifts, the street justice that had been building since Tuesday's knockout punch finally arrived.
Tuesday, so this was the next day, it seems like then. They said this would happen on a Wednesday when he was deleted right here. He keeps calling them Donda and Dada on this. It said Chicken Dada. I'm not sure exactly. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. They said the caption that said Chicken Dada. So I'm referred to him as that. I'm not sure exactly what his name is. A rapper, as they said, there in New York, in the Bronx, trying to get on, trying to become something in the rap industry, and still working at this here smoke shop, and they got caught up in this situation and knocked this girl out or what have you, where it didn't went viral, at least out there Everyone knows about it, and this is apparently the next day when this here goes down.
Footage shows Chicken Donda in the final moments of his life. Unaware that his 24 hours were up, he appeared relaxed, engaged in conversation with a man who had been positioning himself nearby throughout the day. Nothing in his body language suggested he sensed danger. Nothing indicated he knew his past was about to catch up with him in the most violent way possible. Then the shooter appeared. The surveillance video reveals the methodical approach of Chicken Donda's killer. This wasn't a panicked, desperate act. This wasn't someone acting in the heat of the moment. The shooter moved with purpose, approaching his target with the kind of calm determination that suggests this execution had been planned down to the smallest detail. The gunfire erupted without warning. Multiple shots were fired in rapid succession. The sound of bullets filled the air as Chicken Donda's body was struck repeatedly. He dropped immediately, his life ending in the same sudden, violent manner that had characterized so much of his street reputation. But the surveillance footage captured more than just the shooting itself. It documented the immediate aftermath that revealed the brutal efficiency of this revenge killing. The shooter didn't linger. There was no taunting, no additional violence, no theatrical display of dominance.
Yeah, there's nothing to talk about at that point. They coming to take care of business. And I remember, you can go find the video and check it out, without it being blurted out, if you will, without it being edited out. He turned around in the video, I remember, at the last moment, like in a split second, Chicken Donda had turned around, had felt dude running up or what have you, saw something out of his periphery, or for whatever reason, he turned around. He turned around real quick, but it was too late. By the time he turned around, dude was already right there. Now he really up on him and got the weapon right there. Boom. Wow. That's cold.
The job was done, and the killer disappeared as quickly as he had arrived. The man who had been standing near Chicken Donda during the shooting became a crucial element in understanding what had just happened. His reaction to the gunfire, his behavior during the chaos, and his actions in the moments following the execution all raised questions about his role in the events that had just unfolded. Glass from the smoke shop windows shattered as bullets missed their primary target. The sound of gunfire sent people running for cover. Screams filled the air as witnesses realized they had just watched someone get murdered in broad daylight. The peaceful afternoon had transformed into a crime scene in a matter of seconds. Emergency services received multiple 911 calls within minutes of the shooting. Witnesses reported hearing gunshots, seeing someone down, and observing the chaos that follows sudden violence in a crowded area. Police and paramedics were dispatched immediately, but their response time was irrelevant. Chicken Donda was already beyond help. The man who had been standing near Chicken Donda during the shooting became a person of significant interest to investigators. His proximity to the victim, his behavior before and during the execution, and his potential connection to the planning of the murder made him a priority for questioning. Was he a willing participant in a conspiracy to kill Donda, or had he been unknowingly used as part of the setup? Police interviews with this individual would prove crucial to understanding how the execution had been orchestrated. His responses to questions about his relationship with Chicken Donda, his knowledge of any threats against the victim, and his awareness of the connection to Tuesday's incident with Baby Threat would help investigators piece together the larger conspiracy. The connection to Baby Threat became obvious early in the investigation. The timing was too precise to be coincidental. A woman gets knocked unconscious on Tuesday. The man who knocked her out gets executed on Wednesday. The 24-hour gap between these events suggested premeditation rather than spontaneous violence. Investigators began examining Baby Threat's associates, connections, and relationships to identify.
It says here, rapper killed on camera 3 days after he knocked her out. He says here 24 hours later. The title says 3 days. These things happen. So just to clarify then, the narrator here says, as we heard, that this transpired on a Tuesday, where he knocked Baby Threat out, the young lady, And the next day, on Wednesday, 24 hours later, they put a couple in his head. Hope that didn't sound too harsh. They unalived him. You have to be careful, though. Out here putting your hands on women, you have to be careful because they have people that love them, and it's just not really tolerated. It's not respected. Again, I'm not blaming the victim. It's unfortunate that this happened the way that it did, because this was cold. This was vicious. He's sitting there in front of the weed shop chilling like he finna light up, rapping to himself and all this, and dude walk up. He don't catch it. He don't see it. Wow.
Potential suspects with both motive and means to carry out such a targeted killing. In the Bronx music scene, artists often have extended networks that include friends, family members, and associates who might take violent action when someone they care about is assaulted. The bullets that ended Chicken Donda's life created devastating ripple effects that extended far beyond the crime scene outside that Bronx smoke shop. His death left 4 children without their father, a family without their provider, and a community grappling with another senseless loss to street violence. For Chicken Donda's children, their father's murder represented the kind of traumatic loss that shapes childhood and influences entire life trajectories. For young people who now grow up with the knowledge that their dad was gunned down in broad daylight, executed in an act of revenge that stemmed from a conflict they had nothing to do with, the financial stability he provided through his work at the smoke shop was gone. The emotional support of a present father was gone. The future he might have built for them was gone. The local music community faced its own reckoning with the consequences of this violence. Baby Threat's knockout had been captured on video and shared widely within Bronx rap circles. Chicken Donda's execution had been the street's response to that assault. The message was clear. Violence against one artist could result in deadly retaliation against another. This cycle of violence within the music scene raised questions about how conflicts between artists should be handled. The same social media platforms and recording devices that help musicians build their careers were also documenting and amplifying the beat.
It's not really about violence against another artist. It's not like, I doubt it. I highly doubt it that another artist did this in defense of an artist. Baby Threat, the young lady. Oh, you did this to another artist? Oh, we're about to come and get you and take you out because we artists must stick together. No, this was more personal. This would be someone who cared about her personally, if anything.
That sometimes led to bloodshed. The line between artistic rivalry and actual danger had become increasingly blurred. The ultimate consequence of this 24-hour cycle of violence was the permanent destruction it caused to multiple lives and families. Chicken Donda was dead. His children were fatherless. His family was devastated. Baby Threat was connected to a murder. The community had lost another young man to preventable violence. And somewhere in the Bronx, the people responsible for planning and carrying out this execution continued their lives, having delivered their message about the consequences of crossing their family. The 24 hours between Baby Threat's knockout and Chicken Donda's execution reveal fundamental truths about how violence breeds violence in communities where street justice operates alongside, and sometimes instead of, legal justice. This case serves as a stark reminder that every act of aggression carries a potential for deadly escalation. Chicken Donda's decision to knock out Baby Threat wasn't made in a vacuum. It occurred within a cultural context where respect is often maintained through displays of physical dominance, where backing down from confrontation can damage reputation, and where strength is frequently measured by willingness to use violence. He threw that punch believing it would end the conflict in his favor, while establishing his position in the local hierarchy. Ultimately, Chicken Donda's story serves as a cautionary tale about the true cost of choosing violence as a solution to conflict. He threw a punch to maintain his respect and protect his reputation. That single decision cost him his life, left his children without a father, and contributed to the cycle of violence that continues to claim young lives in communities across the country. The 24-hour timeline from assault to execution shows in the modern era of instant communication and viral content, the consequences of violent choices arrive faster than ever before. There's less time for cooler heads to prevail less opportunity for mediation, and less chance for people to step back from the edge before crossing into deadly territory. Breaking the
Well, yes, because everything is caught on camera now, and everything goes viral. And when you do something, it's caught on camera now. When you commit a crime anywhere, on the street, inside of an establishment, it's all caught on camera. He was right there on the street, outside, on the sidewalk, and we still see what happened. It was still caught on camera. People have videos everywhere. They have cameras everywhere, and they have their phones everywhere, and they pull them out quickly. We've seen many incidents caught on camera, so you can't do anything and think you're going to get away with it anyway. But as we can see, the individual that ran up on him anyway certainly had a mask on, an all black mask. I would have no idea who that was. He had a mask, but the individual who walked up, and I don't know, I can't say that he was involved, but whoever that other individual was, he did not have a mask on. And if he was involved, he would not be wearing a mask, of course, because he wants to make sure that this is the end. If he walks up with a mask, then Chicken Don Dada automatically says, "What's going on here? Who are you?" You know, he senses something then. He probably should have sensed something still in that moment, because the individual was close to him, staring at him, but he was so involved in his rap song and rapping to himself and about to light up that he just didn't have the proper awareness, as far as I'm concerned, particularly after just 24 hours prior, you done put hands on this girl. Maybe you know who her family is. Maybe you know some things about her. Perhaps he didn't know enough. He didn't think enough of it. He thought that he was in the clear, that he could just go to work the next day and everything would be normal. But as we can see, that was not the case. Someone came through and took his face off. That's crazy. Got to be careful out there. There's a reaction to every action. You take an action, that's fine. Just be prepared for the reaction. You can choose your actions, but you can't choose people's reaction to your actions. You can't choose it. You can't choose the consequences to your actions. You can just choose your actions, that's fine. But you don't dictate the consequences to your actions. Others are going to do that. Keep that in mind. Rest in peace to that man. I'm not saying that he deserved to lose his life over that situation. Many people are going to say, yeah. Not going to have any mercy on him. Some are going to say, no, he didn't deserve to lose his life. Maybe go to jail, go to prison, whatever, Reform yourself, redeem yourself, never do that again, this sort of thing. I don't know, but again, you can't determine the outcome once you do something like that. It's then out of your hands how someone else reacts to it. In this case, they reacted. You may call it an overreaction until it's your daughter or your sister or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay safe and stay free, people.